Uh-oh, our cloud storage is full, Karen.
I had the same thing happen with my personal one today.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, we'll figure it out after. It is recording. So we're always going to record these calls, just so you guys know, in case you do miss it. It's always best to try to be on, because that's when, you know, you interact, you ask questions and that kind of thing. But welcome to the program. I am Lori.
Oh, I'm Karen. Sorry.
Karen's over there. Michelle Davidson, I don't know where she is on your screen. She's in our corner right here. She's our member support coach. And Michelle actually started with us as a client. She came to us and had such a success story and lived the life and kept tagging us in her posts and went and got certified. And we kidnapped her, recruited her to come on. And she's our support coach. So she will be answering questions on the Facebook board, popping into conversation, answering the chat questions here, and is just a great support. So Michelle, if you want to you can tell your story super quick if you'd like.
Sure. So at the highest weight that I've ever been was close to 240 pounds as a size 18. And I tried every single diet on the face of the planet. So if you can name it, like I have done it. And with some things I would get temporary success, but nothing ever clicked. And Clean Cut was my last resort. It was literally the last thing that I was going to spend money on. And I saw it in a flyer for a gym that I follow. And I was like, all right, I'll attend the free Zoom call. Okay. But they're just going to tell me like a bunch of crap and it's not going to work. And then Lori and Karen just kept talking about how, yeah, you can have a burger. Like, sure, you can incorporate alcohol into your diet, but we're going to teach you how to do it. And I didn't believe them, but I went ahead and I signed up and I did the 6 weeks and it worked. And gosh, I think we're like, what, 3 years later, almost 3.5 years later, like, and it's still working and it's so fun. So I've been exactly where you guys are. Whatever it is that you have in your life, like I can empathize and I can help you navigate through. And if you have food allergies, please message me, because I have kind of experimented with so many of our recipes to put in allergy-friendly substitutes. So don't look at a recipe and say, oh, I can't have that because I can't have soy, or just message me and say, hey, what's a substitute? Here's my allergy, but I really want to try this recipe and I'll help you out.
Awesome.
And welcome.
Awesome. Awesome. So one more big disclosure here is this is a safe space. Nothing leaves this space. We don't go out and talk about everybody and everything and all that kind of stuff. This is a safe place to talk about what's happening, talk about, your feelings, because this is about a relationship with food. It's not just about looking at a piece of paper that has menus and recipes on it, following it for 6 weeks, and then being like, screw it, we're done. So we don't ever want you to put anything in your mouth you don't like. If there is someone else wants to pop in. If there's something in the recipe that you don't like, we can sub it out. We can find you different things to eat. If you can't stand yogurt, you find yogurt triggers you, you never have to put yogurt in your mouth. I personally don't like salmon that much, so I will substitute my salmon out. If a recipe says something you don't like, we can sub it out. Our menus are made to be subbed out, and Karen will go through that in detail. And each week we're going to teach you an educational topic that's going to build upon each other. So you'll have something to practice each week. You'll have menus, you'll have recipes, and you'll have your portal and your Facebook board. So we were just going to go over that very quickly, and then we can answer questions, talk about what this week entails. Does that work? Karen, do you want to piggyback anything there?
No, I think it's great. I think the key to all of this is, besides obviously the education and being part of the community and supporting each other, because that's why we're all here together, right? And to take advantage of the live coaching. You have real people here, and we have real lives like you do. We are not, no one's perfect. We're not perfect. So I just want you to understand that it's okay to admit that you failed and that we're here to support it. And if you are not looking forward to what you're eating, it's not going to work. So we need you to say, I don't like that. I need this. I loved that. This worked. And start to really pay attention to how you're reacting to food. Because once you're very clean, you're going to recognize, oh, that kept me full. That didn't keep me full. This made me want X, Y, and Z. We all have what we like, and we all have triggers. And It's a matter of noticing them and not looking for the excuse in things. And there are real life emotions that come into it, and there are real life situations that we'll all deal with together, right? So that's what the Facebook board is for. It's really for a space to be like, I have this big thing coming up this weekend. I'm totally stressed at work. So-and-so, my in-laws are coming for the next week. Oh my God, they bring all this crazy food. How do I navigate it? Because it's not a no, it's just navigating it. It's having a plan. And that's what we're going to teach you. Every step of the way, it's about a plan. But for now, we're just going to start slow. We're going to tell you all the housekeeping stuff so you know exactly where to find everything, what it looks like, get familiar with it, how to download it. We're going to help you get through all those steps, because then it's all at your fingertips. And once you're really comfortable with it, it's going to be like anything else, like a new app or a new download or a new version of your Apple phone that you can't find anything and then just need a day. So we're going to take you through that right now.
All right, awesome. So there's two ways you can access the portal. Through your computer, you can go to cleancutfit.com. Upper left corner is a login. I think it's the left corner. It's just the username and it's your email and password you use to register for the program. And then you can click on, and this is what you'll see. You'll also, you can't see it on my phone, but see this top left corner up here, that little blue and white K up the top here. That's what the app looks like. So this is all in the portal. You should have all gotten an email once you registered with all of this information. So you could check that email, how to download that. So there's two ways to handle it. So this is what your portal will look like. All your calls are here. Just a note, the call tonight is Wednesday. All the rest of the calls are Tuesdays. We just had a conflict last night, so we had to move this a little bit. All the rest of the calls are Tuesdays, this same exact Zoom link that you're on now at 7 o'clock Eastern. Okay. So I'm not going to click through everything in the portal. You guys can click through yourself, but there's a little welcome about Karen and I and about our team, our general contact information, our social media information, that general like housekeeping stuff. And then we talk about the Clean Cut lifestyle here, how the program works, what to expect. So if you click through, you'll see a video, you'll see all the information. Okay. So again, I'm not going to read it for you. Week by week breakdown, your guide to success. We talk about what the Clean Cut way is all about, balancing, pausing, and choices. And we'll get into that as the program moves. And then there is a weight and measurement chart to add your results in if you choose. That is optional. You do not have to step on a scale if you don't feel comfortable stepping on the scale. If you don't step on the scale, that is totally fine. I do recommend doing measurements just because that is a better way. If you don't want to even do your measurements, put a pair of jeans on that are tight. Put a tank top on that's tight. Put a bathing suit on. See how you feel in it. Okay, I know where I am exactly on the scale by how I put my jeans, how I feel in my jeans. It just gets that easy as you go. So if you click this little arrow here, it's going to be Karen and I chatting about how to do your measurements. And then you're going to scroll down. Okay, there's Denise was kind enough to put all these little things in here. This is just a Google form. You're going to do your initial weight and measurements at the beginning of week 1. So anytime now until Monday, Tuesday, whenever you'd like to do it. Again, this is optional. Week 2, weight. Week 3, weight. Halfway through the program, end of week 3, weights and measurements. Week 4, week 5, weight. Week 6, your final weight and final measurements. There's also an option to put before and after pictures in if you choose. Again, this is always optional. We always say too, even if you don't want to share a before and after picture, take one for yourself, because you're going to find that sometimes the scale doesn't move the way you want it to move. And you're going to see a number on there that you may think you should be at, and it may be the weight you weighed in high school. Okay. That's what people struggle with. So let's look at realistically how you feel. Okay. Besides the scale and measurements, it's going to be how you're sleeping. Are your eyes whiter? Is your skin brighter? Do you have more energy? Is your eczema gone? All that kind of stuff. All right. So there's going to be other ways to measure for this long-term lifestyle.
I'm going to jump in real quick before she moves on. So the weights and measurements, guys, like Lori said, nothing is mandatory, right? This is about how you're feeling. And trust me, when you lose weight, you could choose whether you like to weigh in on a Monday, if you like to weigh in on a Friday. That's going to be your choice. Whichever one keeps you more accountable is the one that we would suggest that you use. So, if you want to weigh yourself on a Friday going into the weekend because you just want to know, or do you want to keep it in check over the weekend and you want to use that that Monday as a more like, okay, I'm going to have my cheat, but I'm not going to go off the rails on the weekend just because it's the weekend. And we'll help you through that, guys, because a lot of people just get this weekend mindset that we're so accustomed to that somehow we believe that some reason on the weekends things don't count, but they still do. So it's a matter of navigating that kind of stuff. So you choose what time of the week works for you. We do not suggest weighing yourself every day. That becomes toxic. That is not a true scale of what is going on, depending on what you ate, if you had sodium, if you slept okay, if you pooped. There's so many factors that go into what goes on that scale. It's not just fat weight. We have lean mass. We have, organs. We have a lot of things that are going on. So don't just trust that one number on the scale and let it ruin or make your day.
And I have two quick things to add. Number one, a little off topic from this, as we're going through our call, if you have any questions, number one, feel free to interrupt. Like, you can come off mute, like this is a discussion, but if you don't feel comfortable coming off mute and going on audio, just put your question in the chat and I'll be monitoring that as we go along. But then number two is that the Google Forms that Lori pointed out with all of your measurements and your weight, or uploading pictures, the only people that see that are Lori, Karen, and you, and that's it. I don't even see them. So without so you have control and you have permission over where that information goes, and that's confidential to you.
And one more suggestion on that, because once you put it into our portal, you can't retrieve it again either. It's a safety mechanism. So make sure that you print it out, write it down, and make a little folder for yourself, because
Denise changed that. Denise changed that.
Oh, good. Thank God.
So when you put your measurements in, you'll get an email with what you put in.
Thank God.
I know.
It was a great
Figure
safety.
it
So
out.
it was great because no one could get it except neither could you. And that was kind of like, you didn't know what you did. So,
Yeah,
we
she fixed that. That
obviously
should be
find it
working.
for
If
you.
that doesn't work, let me know, because I think she fixed that.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, really quick. The Whisk app is how we see our recipes. So I'm going to show you that super quick. Again, I'm not going to spend tons of time on all this.
You can go into theirs.
Yeah, here, I got it already pulled up. Okay. So you download the Whisk app. Again, you can pull it up on your phone, or you could pull it up on a computer. Either way, you're going to use an email and password. Okay. There's tons of recipes on here. These are not ours, but feel free to glance through, look for stuff. If you find one you like, post it up. Can I have this? What can I sub? You're going to see that's home. That's what the home screen looks like here. Okay. You're going to see communities. It'll be in the app as well. My communities here. Okay. So these are all the programs like we've done, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So yours, oops, Clean Cut January program. You're going to click on that and look at this. So here's all of your recipes. This is only week 1. This is not the entire program.
Not even fully in there yet.
And they're not, and Karen's still uploading these. So we're just starting to put stuff in. So I'm going to just show you one, egg roll in a bowl. Okay, this is one of my favorites. This is one recipe that I call the garbage recipe as well, because I'm to the point where any extra vegetables I have in my fridge go in the egg roll in the bowl. And I made a different version tonight that I'm going to post up as well as we go.
I make this weekly and my kids eat it too.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can, like, tonight I made it with kohlrabi noodles. It was like really good. We'll talk about that later. But so 1 pound of ground pork, I use shrimp all the time. I just like shrimp. Okay. Now here's all your things you can put in. If you hate ginger, don't put the ginger in, right? If you don't like mushrooms, put something else in. Now, here's the fun thing about Whisk. You can click servings. Boom. So you want to double it, right? And freeze some or whatever. You have a big family. So you can switch the servings out. Okay. Then click shopping up here. Actually, let me go back. Sorry. Okay. Add to, look at this, my shopping list. So everything that's in that recipe is in the shopping list. I like to deselect all, and then I click what I need, right? Then I'm going to add my items. Okay. So then when I go to the store, I'm going to click my list and it's going to show me everything I need. This is things that I've had on my list already that just got canceled out. So super easy way to create a shopping list as well, and just take it with you on your phone. Okay.
Go back to the recipe real quick.
Sure.
So something we don't want you to harp on, scroll down a little bit.
Yeah.
that
fair.
health score. So this is a health score based on a standard, like My Plate. We're not teaching you the standard My Plate because that is not a cookie, that is cookie cutter, and that does not work for everybody. So we don't want you to obsess over this and look and be like, oh my God, it's 25 carbs, I can't eat it. Every carbohydrate, and we will teach you this step by step along the way, is different in your body and how your body chemically reacts to it. So just because these numbers say such doesn't mean that's physically what's happening in your body. So we don't want you to not eat something because it has a 6.2 or a 4.4. It's just, this is how WISC is rating it. But when we teach you all the steps along the way of why we don't see that as a negative, because again, we've tested it on ourselves, we're not just saying this to you, that you're going to realize your reactions to things. So again, everybody is built differently. Yes, all of our stuff's in the same spot, but we react differently to a lot of different things. So do not harp on that health score. We don't want you to like not try something because of it.
Right. Okay. And we're going to be, so Karen's still adding recipes in from week 1. We'll get those in. So every week we build upon this. So all these recipes in here, you can have anytime. Then week 2, you can do recipes for week 1 and 2, week 3, week 1, week 2, week 3, and you're going to find the recipes that you like. You can also save them. So you click like the save button and then you can click up here, save. So these are my recipes that I've saved, right? So this I just made, it is not clean cut approved, but it's delicious. It was for a party. So these are like my, these are my staples, right? Like I like these, I save them, I click on them super quick. So yes, so we're going to share all these with you. And then I'm going to go back to the portal super quick. Zoom call information. And then here's your week 1. This is what every week's going to look like. You have week 1 education. Okay. These are just, there may be some videos in here. There's documents here. And then you're going to have your menu guide, which I'm going to have Karen go over super quick. I'm going to show you the Facebook group, and then we're going to go over what to expect in week 1. So let me click the menu guide.
So once you click inside, you're always going to click to the downloads, and that's where everything's going to be. So there's always a little header to give you an idea of what's coming. So we want you to read it. It's not a lot of reading, guys. We do talk about it. So even if you don't read it, we teach you every single step of this along the way. So here's your week 1. We have breakfast, pick 1, snack, pick 1, lunch, pick 1. You do not have to eat 5 times a day. If you are not hungry, please don't eat. Pick 1 if hungry. Notice where it says that, right? So like if you scroll and you're at lunch, so now we've made it to lunch. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna prep myself for 3 days. I'm gonna make some clean cut chicken salad. I'm going to make the chickpea salad, and I'm going to make some hard-boiled eggs. And that's going to be kind of my stuff that I grab in the refrigerator. We do not want you making all 7 things that you're staring at because you will waste food or overeat. Pick 3 ideas, like pick 2 breakfast ideas, 3 lunch ideas, or 2 breakfast, 1 lunch, and interchange them. They should be ready to go come Monday morning. Right? So that might simply be like my refrigerator always has chicken salad, always has hard-boiled eggs, and I always have like my peanut butter on hand. So in a pinch, I always have something to eat. I don't open my refrigerator ravenous and have to start to create a meal. That's where it goes awry and you don't care, and you're eating pretzels before you even get to you're eating before you're even eating. So notice they're all in blue, right? So if Lori clicks the detox soup, and we're going to go over the detox soup in a second. It's going to bring you to your WISC community
Where it goes. Voila.
Where your detox soup is. So this is how you make it. Again, you switch out anything you want in here, whatever you like. And the instructions are all there. So it's a little different on your app. You kind of go side to side. You'll see it. You guys are smart. This detox soup is your friend. I suggest making this. You can use this as a filler no matter what. It is truly, when we say unlimited, completely unlimited. It is like medicine in a bowl. It is just a filler. There's vitamins. It is just something to keep you warm. It's perfect for this time of the year. So you can have a full lunch. And if you need more, have a bowl of detox chicken soup. If you're hungry in the middle of the afternoon, have a bowl of soup. If you need a little something at night to keep you satisfied because you don't want to nosh on the couch because we're breaking habits, have a bowl of soup. When we say truly unlimited, we mean unlimited. Enjoy it. Don't think about it. If that's what you need right now to feel safe, that there's always something for you to eat, this is your friend. So just make sure that when it says unlimited, we really mean unlimited.
Awesome. Don't mind all my tabs up, and I just realized all my tabs that are open. So in here as well, so your menu guide, week 1 approved recipes and easy prep grab and go. So these recipes are in Whisk, but we put just a little document together that are just easy prep recipes. So, this is super quick to make, grab and go recipes. What you can eat also under here, super important in week 1. And we're going to go over that in a minute. And then approved marinades. And a lot of people ask us for salad dressings, marinades. So we just put a little document together. Again, they are all in Whisk. And my final talking point, I'm just going to show you guys the Facebook board. Oh, member request. Who's that? Got it. So this is our Facebook board. This is the hub of where we chat during the week. Okay. So our call schedule I put up, that's always posted, but we're going to start to, post pictures in here. If you have a question, if you see something in the grocery store and you're like, can I have this or not? Post it up to the board, because if not Karen, I, myself, or Dina see it and says, oh, okay, like yes or no, someone else may be on here and be like, I saw that, I know it's approved. This is a community, safe community space. And the more you communicate and the more you participate in this, the more you're going to get out of it. Trust me when I tell you, by the end of 6 weeks, we're going to be family, I promise. And it's great. We had an accountability call last night we have a month-to-month program afterwards, and 2 people cried. And it's just, we become that tight and we talk about things, and it becomes more than just what you're putting in your body. So use this Facebook board as a community to ask questions. If you're struggling, it's okay. Please, please, please do not compare yourself to anybody else. Do not. Because
don't struggle in silence, guys. This is why we're here, right? Like, it's okay to say you need help, right? It's perfectly fine to say you need help. And think of this like, I'm just gonna wait for the dog to leave the house. Think of this as like a sorority, right? Like we're all here. We're like-minded people. We're all looking for the same thing. So nothing you say or do is something that we all haven't heard before. Don't leave that page real quick, Lori. So
I'm sorry, I was looking. Yeah, I'll look.
The weekly call recordings, just so you all know, they will be pinned at the top. Every week we record them inside your portal. There's one space where they all live. So I want you to all make sure that if you can't make the calls, they are recorded.
Let me
show. And this is where they live. So inside here, they'll be here.
Right. So this call tonight, when I pull the recording, will be put here. Week 1 will be put here. 2 through, 5, that should be there. I'll fix that.
My big ask is that when you post to the Facebook board, like if you are in the grocery store, you see a product, you want to know if you can have it, please post a picture of the front of the product and the nutrition label with the ingredients list so that we can review those. And that'll give us some context of like, what am I looking at? And then what's inside of it. And then we can give you a go, no go, or yes, you can, but maybe sparingly.
And on time, and I'm piggybacking on what she's saying. We're also going to explain to you the why. We're never just going to say yes or no. We're going to say yes because, no because, yes, but in moderation, because we want you to learn. We want you to truly understand when you're looking at a side of a package in 6 weeks from now. You might still have some questions, and that's why we're here, but you are pretty confident that this is a good choice. So we're never just going to be like, yes, no. There's always going to be a why behind it. There's a why behind everything we do. Why we eat what we eat. We don't just say eat it because we said so. So there's a why behind everything, but pay attention to those answers, because at some point you're going to be let free. And we want you to stay in the clean cut lifestyle. So you need to learn it.
Awesome. All right.
And when you're on the Facebook board, like go ahead this week and start like introducing yourself and put where you're from. What local grocery stores do you normally go to? Because if you go to our main cleancut.com website, then you'll see that we'll have like a tab where we go and do like live from the trunks, and we'll show you like what our staples are from Trader Joe's or Costco. On your Facebook board, I do some crazy stuff, and I'll go like live from my pantry and show you what's in there. Or I'll show you what's in my refrigerator that week. But it's nice to have that context to know where you're from so that we know what stores to hit. So And those are fun videos.
And we're never going to ask you to count calories. We're never going to ask you to count macros. We're going to use a range of things because there is a balance in it, and you need balance, and there's some number in it. It's more very, very visual. We're never going to ask you to weigh something, count something. It's going to be a very visual thing. And once you start to understand your go-tos and what works for you, you're going to know when you're tipping over. You're going to know when you're veering, and you're going to be like, okay, I know I had too much of that today. I'm going to pull it back tomorrow, or I'm going to leave it out tomorrow, right? It's a give and it's a take. So we're going to teach you this all along the way. I mean, all those gimmick diets and those restrictive diets that you had with all your calories have created havoc on your body. And it's not anybody's fault. We've just trusted those processes. We trusted sugar-free, fat-free. That's what we were told, that pick up, the low-fat, non-fat version, that, use aspartame because it's, there's no calories in it, without knowing really what was happening inside of our bodies. We're very aware of what's happening now. And that restrictive calorie only makes you anxious, makes you think about food, makes you obsess about food, makes you hangry, and it just causes stress. Stress causes hormone reaction known as cortisol. If all these things keep popping in, you're fighting a fight you're never going to win. So stay calm and eat clean. I'm going to make a t-shirt. Stay calm and eat clean.
And I will tell you that my absolute favorite thing about Clean Cut, like the absolute number one thing, there's so many things I love, but the top is that it took my shame relationship with food away, because we've all done it. We've all been on those super restrictive, either calorie or macros, or you're cutting out whole food groups out of your diet, and then you can't take it anymore and you blow it and you eat like a half a large pizza, and then you immediately, like, or at least I'll speak for me, I'm not going to say you, I would immediately be like, wow, I'm so weak. Man, I'm a terrible person. Man, I'm never going to get this together. I should just quit because I'm never going to be able to do this. And what we are saying is, as you are practicing these first couple of weeks, you might have a day where you blow it and you grab like the bag of chips and you eat a bunch of handfuls of chips and you don't eat the way that you want to eat. What we're asking you to do is take an assessment and say, okay, what led up to it? Did I skip lunch because I was feeling good, and then all of a sudden, like, I drained myself too thin, and then, or maybe I didn't meal prep enough and have some good grab and goes in my refrigerator and when the panic set in, I grabbed the chips instead of the chicken salad. And then we want you to let it go and say, okay, now I can fix it. And week one is just going to be one of those tools that you use for the rest of your life. When you go out and you have pizza with your friends, you're going to go back to week one the next day as a way to correct what you enjoyed. So it takes that shame out of the picture.
And just like Michelle said, we're going to teach you every week. We're going to teach you. We're going to work on it. We're going to teach you. We're going to work on it. That's how it's going to work. We're going to do this together. You're muted, Kara.
My train went past again. We don't want you to look. We don't want you to look at any of this as a punishment, right? So we don't want to. You're not punishing yourself by eating clean, and don't punish yourself because you ate poorly, right? Like week one, and we're going to talk about week one in about a second. Week one is your most restrictive week. It's still food. You still can eat a lot of food. We don't want you to, it's just foods that you're not used to. It's taking out some of the food groups, and we only take this food group out, which is carbohydrates, which comes with sugar, which is fruit as well, and dairy. We take those three things out. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's 1 week of your life. Some of you might love it and be like, I feel so much better this way. I don't even care. I don't even miss it. Some of you might struggle a little. Some of you might not feel great, but it's not the way that we want you to live your life. It is a tool. It's a tool for us to get you back to a baseline where we can actually see your reactions to food. We have no idea if you have a reaction to dairy, if you've eaten dairy. We will not know until you take it out and then you put it back in a week later. It'll be very obvious.
Yeah, can I just piggyback on that?
Yeah, of course.
And the beauty of that, it's not only a chemical reaction, but is it a mindful reaction, where I always like to use Karen as this example. Like every time she eats ice cream, she wants crumb cake.
Every time.
Right?
Every time.
So it's not triggering her to bloat because of the dairy. It's triggering her for something, some reason, it's triggering her to want more food. Is whatever you're eating triggering you an hour later to be hungry? Is it holding you during that witching hour at 3 o'clock? Right? So it's more to it than just bloating or breaking out an eczema. It's what's satisfying you, what's keeping you fuller longer, what works for you. Because what works for me is going to be different than what works for you or for Karen or Michelle or anybody else. So that's why those cookie cutter programs just don't work long term. Sorry.
And week one, and you're going to hear us say week one a lot. And like Michelle said, it's going to be the first tool in your toolbox. We are going to give you an arsenal of things to keep you on track and to make this easy. We have hacks, we have ideas, we have recipes, we have support group. There are so many things that we're going to give you. This week one, you have to live it and breathe it and feel it to understand that it's a tool. Because when you go on vacation and you have the best time and you don't care and you come home and you're like, oh my God, I need to go back to week one. You need to live it to use it. That's all we ask. It is going to be more restrictive than week 2 and week 3. It's 1 week, guys. It's 1 week, right? It's time to just put on your good big girl pants and just be like, it's 1 week. And again, there's a lot of food.
Yeah.
There's real chicken salad. There's real eggs. There's real vegetables. There's as much detox soup as you want. There's just no bread. There's no pizza. There's no cheese. There's no yogurt. There's no fruit. It's not that difficult.
And those will come back, guys. Those will come back. I promise you.
Right.
I promise you. We want you to sit in the uncomfortable, number one. And number two, know that, like Karen said, it's not a punishment. You're detoxing your body and you're going to feel really good in a couple of days. Like she said, you may have a headache, you may not. You may feel icky, you may not. Depending on where
It's
you are.
not bland grilled chicken
No.
and steamed broccoli. Like, use the spices, have fun with the recipes, have that egg roll in a bowl. Like, they're delicious.
Yep. Does anyone have any questions right now? Anyone, you can either chat or open up your mute and talk.
Hi, it's Norma Jean here. How you guys doing?
Hi.
I have like 3 food questions on week 1 after I reviewed kind of the menu pick and then also the what food can you eat pick.
Sure.
For the first week, there's no ground turkey or lean ground turkey as a meat choice.
Oh, no, there
it?
is. Yes,
There
I'm
is?
sorry. Yes. Ground turkey, ground chicken. It's not on there?
It for some reason turkey's not on here. And I was like, wow.
Maybe because I don't like it. Sorry.
Yes. Ground turkey's fine. Ground chicken's fine.
Okay.
Just
And then
try
how
to
about,
honestly, guys, try to get organic if you can. It just,
Yeah.
if you can, not everyone's gonna be able to get that or whatever, I mean, everything's so expensive right now, but do what you can on that.
Totally. Costco has that organic.
Yeah, they do. Costco's got great, I'm telling you, Costco's got, you go back to our Instagram. We did a finds from Costco
That's
last
good.
week, right? They got some good stuff now.
One more thing with the ground chicken and the ground turkey before you go on, Norma Jean, please do not get the fat free. Do not get
Yes.
the 99%. It's
Okay.
it's useless. It's not doing anything for you. We need that fat. You need the good fat. So you're welcome. It tastes better when it has fat in it. So don't turn it over and be like, this one has 0 fat and this one has 9. We want that 9 grams of fat. That 9 grams of fat is what's going to help you burn fat and keep you full, which is what we teach you in week 1. Like we'll go into the deep dive on good fat, but you got to trust it. I know it's scary because you're used to being like, well, this one's got lower calories and like lower fat, but that's not the one that's going to work. That's the one that's going to make you hungrier. So we don't want that one. We want the one that is like the 7% or whatever it is.
How about the as a snack, like a plant-based protein powder? Like sometimes I would feel like in my car, like I would bring like the 10 nuts in a little zip bag, or I would do a shake, like an Orgain or like a Plant Fusion,
Yep,
something like
those are
that.
fine. Yep.
You can have that week 1.
Yes, you can. So this is what I want you guys to know about protein shakes. Okay. There is a shit ton out there. Ton. You got to look at your label. That's all. There's 2 things I want you to look for on your label. Artificial flavors and colors out. I don't want any artificial garbage in it. Sucralose, any of that shit out. Right. And then you also want to look to make sure if it is a protein shake or it is a meal replacement shake. Neither are wrong. Your protein shake is protein. Flavor, that's about it. It's going to be anywhere between 80 and 120 calories probably on an average for the most part, right? you pick up a shake that is 200, 250 calories. It's not wrong. There's other stuff in it, right? So if you're taking a protein shake and you're adding stuff to it, and you think it's a protein shake, it's a meal replacement shake, you now went from a 250 calorie shake to a 500 calorie shake like that. Maybe by just adding a scoop of peanut butter and you didn't even realize it. So make sure you know what you're drinking. Okay. Make sure you know what you're drinking and make sure that it is safe. So if you're unsure, just post the label up. Plant Fusion's fine. I think most of the Orgains is totally fine right now. I know that they've changed a lot. Vega's fine. If you are a whey-based protein person, just don't want Plant Fusion, Ascent Protein is fine. There's so many of them out there. As I said, just post it up. I mean, I can give you
I'll post. I have a ton. I'll do a whole post on the pictures of the ones that we really like. But like on that calorie part, don't panic.
No,
right? If you have it one afternoon, like I just wouldn't say that, like I wouldn't have a protein shake and then with your protein shake have breakfast.
Yeah.
well, that's what I was saying. The meal replacement shake's a meal replacement, right? You can have it, but that's your meal replacement, right? Versus like, I'm telling you, when you start adding shit to a meal replacement shake,
Yeah.
it adds up super quick. Again, we're not counting calories, but it's just way more than you possibly need. So it's just being aware of what you're putting in your body. That's all.
And week 1, don't put fruit in your shake.
Right.
Yeah, just keep it out week 1. That's fine. It'll come back.
used
I
to do,
promise
like,
you
a
guys.
coffee. I would put
Besides-
coffee with the protein powder at like
Ooh,
3:30,
yeah.
3:30 when I'm just trying to get to dinner and I
So
need like a little
Vega
pick me
has
up, but I know
a
I can't have a cocktail.
Vega has a coffee latte shake right now.
Oh,
The Vega brand. It's good.
okay.
they-
Thank you,
They
guys.
did. I have it. Yeah. So you want me to look that up. If you're a coffee person, that's a nice 3:00,
Okay.
yummy. And again, guys, by the way, like fruit's out this week, but I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't found any fruit that looks good lately in the store. You want to eat seasonally with your fruit. I mean, everything just like, it's like just weird right now. So we'll get into that later, but it's a good week to not have fruit.
Norma Jean, do you have a third question? I thought you had 3 food questions. You're still on mute.
No,
You're on
I'm
mute.
good. It was the portion on the nuts, and then I saw something said 10 nuts.
Okay,
And listen, if you have 12 or 15, I mean, it's a handful. Go
right,
ahead,
just
Karen.
like a little,
Yeah, like okay. When we say handful, we don't mean like it's falling off your hand. We mean like the inside, like when you make a scoop, what you can hold in the inside palm of your hand without it falling off. We don't mean like. And I'm going to talk about nuts because this is where nuts come in. I mean, it's good fat, so let's talk about it now. There is a limit to it. You can't just be like, it's good fat, I'm going to eat it all day long. Like, hi. So like if you're going to have 3 handfuls of nuts a day, like this, I would say 3 handfuls of nuts and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, nut butter, almond butter, sunflower butter, whatever one you choose would be enough for the day. If you find that they're on the counter and they're easy to grab and it slows you down before you eat, fantastic. But if you're just not even hungry and you're popping them in your mouth just because they're there and they're allowed, it's not gonna, it kind of stunts it from happening. It's not horrible. It's also really constipating. Like there's just a lot of pieces to it. So there's just, when you're doing your nuts, keep it to like a 2 serving a day. So that would be like 3 little handfuls and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, or 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and 2 little handfuls. So just kind of understand that you're, 1 and 1. Don't make it all day long. Unless you actually have no food left in your house, like I have had sometimes, and there's peanut butter for lunch and dinner because I really have nothing left in my house. But like, I'm not eating anything else, right? I didn't have an avocado. I didn't have an egg. I didn't have any chicken salad. I didn't have any mayo. I didn't have any other fat. So it was perfectly fine.
and if
Right.
you
So
are
we're going to teach all that.
if you are vegetarian, if you are vegan, talk to us. If you are pregnant, if you are breastfeeding, talk to us. Like then we need to give you some modifications and some not deviations, just modifications to your plan and to some of your serving sizes to meet your nutritional needs.
Yep.
And just send us a message.
Yep. Anybody else have any questions?
Can you pull back up the menu guide so I can explain how to like prep a little?
Yep.
And then we can let everyone go. So I just want to make sure that everyone understands what we mean by prep. So now you have the next few days to play in the portal, look through Whisk, because by the end of tonight, all the recipes will be up in Whisk. So you can look through. When you look through Whisk, like things that are exciting you, flag them, save them, right? And then kind of go back and look through them and be like, okay, I'm going to have these 2 dinners. I'm going to make these 2 breakfasts and these 2 lunches. So don't over prepare yourself. First of all, you don't want to be in the kitchen all day long, and that's not what we're asking you to do. So like maybe you make the egg cups and you make chia pudding. The homemade English muffin you can make the day of. It takes 2 minutes. But get the ingredients, open that up, get the ingredients, keep them in your house, and you will have those ingredients for a very long time and get you through a while making the homemade English muffin. You can have the homemade English muffin with 1 egg, put a little butter on it. You can have an English muffin with butter, and then on the side, you have an egg and a quarter of an avocado. So that's a nice meal, right? That's a really great breakfast. Mark it down. Wow, I didn't think about food for 4 or 5 hours. So maybe you have your egg cups ready. You have 1 egg cup and in the English muffin. That's a great breakfast, right? So that's how I would take the breakfast. Snacking, I would eat 2 hard-boiled eggs. I do the detox soup. Definitely make the detox soup. Then you're moving on to lunch. All right, I'm going to make the chicken salad, and I really think the chickpea salad would be nice to pick on, or the crunchy tomato salad. I'm going to make one of those, right? So now I have 2 things for lunch. I have 2 ideas for dinner. I get through that for 3 days. I have 2 dinners. I'm going to eat leftovers the next day, maybe have leftovers for lunch. So just kind of take 2 from each right now. Get yourself prepped with those. You don't have to cook them all, but just be ready on Monday with at least 2 things that are cooked, 2 or 3 things that are cooked and ready to go in the kitchen, in the refrigerator, so that when Monday comes, you know exactly what's breakfast, you know what you're going to eat if you're hungry for a snack, you know what lunch is, and you're excited about what's for dinner. And see how it goes. Once Wednesday comes and goes, this worked, this I ended up not really liking, and every time I said I was going to eat it, I didn't, right? It's wasteful. That didn't work for you. Mark it down. Didn't work for you, right? Pick something else. And we'll just keep building on it. And before you know it, you have what we call your go-tos, right? I love like any of see the herb burger there, the herb burger. Click on it, Laura. I make that, but I make it, scroll up to dinner. So I make that, but I'll make 2 pounds at a time. And that's my grab. I'll eat them cold. I'll take 2 out, 3 out of the refrigerator and heat them up or not heat them up. And that'll be my lunch or my grab when I'm really hungry and I'm running out the door.
So we're going to also give you guys some basil chicken bites. They're like an appetizer. I always make them for parties, and I make them sometimes just keep them in the fridge as a snack.
And sometimes I take the basil chicken bite and I make it a full-size burger size, right? Just you start to you're not locked into the recipe. So it's fine to play around.
And also know that just because we list something as a lunch or a dinner or a breakfast, it doesn't mean that you have to have it at that time. So one of the big things is like, if you don't like eggs, we do have a lot of egg options for breakfast. We do give you non-egg options. You have the English muffin, you have the chia pudding. In the coming weeks, we will have, some clean cut granola that we'll have in your Whisk app. But if you don't like eggs, there's nothing to say that you can't have an herb chicken burger for breakfast, or you can't have sauteed vegetables. Like it doesn't, and if you love breakfast, there's nothing to say that you just can't have scrambled eggs for dinner, or one of those breakfast items. So don't feel like you're locked into that time of day either.
Awesome.
Does everyone feel comfortable about where to find everything, how to get started? Anyone have any questions? If you're not registered and you want to, just go right to our page. You click on, it'll pop up, register, and join this fabulous group. That's going to be a wonderful new year for everyone. And I'm not just saying this because we created this. I'm really proud of it. I will give you all my little secret. I came from a really, really unhealthy relationship with food, which brought me to, I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And, the relationship that I had was bringing me to, let's be very, oh, thank you. I struggled with an eating disorder for the majority of my life, and I was tired. I was tired of lying, and I was tired of pretending I knew what I was doing. And I was tired of being scared of food. So I started researching, got myself certified. Lori and I collaborated, tried a lot of things out. And I will tell you that I was super scared along the way, and really, really proud of what we put together, because food is science. And it's really a very simple thing to follow when you trust science. And if you don't trust the science, then if you don't learn the science, you're going to be scared forever. And I just think it's that point where you can get to freedom. And that's what we created for you guys. So we're super psyched you're here, and just embrace everything, you know, like kind of erase everything you think, you know, and just be really open to trying new things. And, you know, some of our stuff is going to sound a little crazy, but give it a shot. It might work in your system. Right. So you just don't know.
And we give it into you in pieces for a reason. I got very frustrated during my 6-week challenge of, I wanted to know what week 6 looked like. Like, just give me all the information. Like, what's all the education? And I think that because Lori and Karen gave me little things to practice each week for 6 weeks, that's what ensured my success. So trust the process, strap in, and enjoy the ride with us.
Awesome. Amazing. All right, well, we'll let you guys go if you don't have any other questions. Thank you guys for popping on with us. And again, light up the Facebook board, use it. Let us know, you know, if you have any questions at all. And then we'll be, you know, responding to you guys all week. Okay.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for popping on.